My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of The Intruder. And I wasn't going to review this movie because it's not really a movie anybody talks about, but the more I think about this movie, the more I just have to talk about it. So this review will have spoilers. There's your warning. But holy shit, this movie is so stupid. So you've got two characters. The husband's name is Scott and the wife's name is Annie. And they end up buying a house from Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid keeps stopping by, he keeps visiting, and Scott is pretty sure that he's watching them, that he's stalking them. And whenever Dennis Quaid talks about the house, it's always my house, and you can tell he hasn't moved on from it. So, you kind of know how it's going to go, you know it's going to escalate, but I can't think of the last time I watched a movie with such stupid characters. Scott keeps telling his wife, he is off. He keeps checking by and it's really uncomfortable. So she is just like, hey, wanna help me hang up these Christmas lights? Hey, wanna have some pizza with me? Hey, wanna have some wine with me? And I was just baffled. Dennis Quaid is so obviously a creep heel, and she keeps inviting him in time and time again. And then there's one part where Scott is in the hospital, and he asks his friend Mike to go check up on his wife. And for some reason, Mike just sneaks up and watches the wife through the window. And Dennis Quaid sees him, and so he decides to go outside, and he then kills Mike. And I'm just thinking, why wouldn't Mike knock on the door? Why wouldn't Mike give Scott a call? It's like, in order for this movie to move, everybody had to have negative brain cells. It was just so frustrating to watch. And and then it goes in the direction it's eventually gonna go in, and Dennis Quaid, he's creepy throughout, but he goes from A to B to C to D to E to R S T. He at one point he's just inside the house waiting for Annie, and just confesses his love and what he wants, and I'm like, whoa. He's so patient for so much of this movie, and he does things slowly, but suddenly he was just like, you know what, it's time. It's time for the climax of the movie, so I'm just going to make it as obvious as possible. So I just found this movie to be so frustrating to watch, because once again, these characters are so dumb. The husband tells the wife, I am not comfortable with this guy. I do not want you around him. I don't feel safe with him. And she's just like, yeah, come in for some pizza. We'll hang out. It just frustrated me. And then they also kind of introduce this subplot of Scott lying and cheating on his wife. But then it never comes back into play. So it's like, you make me hate this character, and it's never addressed again. So what was the point of that? I truly do not get that decision at all. Maybe, yeah, no, it's bad. It's real bad. The movie is competently made. It does have decent potential behind it. Michael Ealy does a fine job. Megan Good does a fine job. But the saving grace of this movie is Dennis Quaid. I'm a big fan of him as an actor. I thought he was Oscar worthy for The Substance. He is phenomenal in that movie. I also love him in Frequency and The Day After Tomorrow, and I actually feel like he's kind of underrated. But he is really good here. Like, he does play this character well. Well, he does kind of feel like, I'm just checking in to see how you guys are doing, you know, and then when he has to be creepy, he pulls it off. So, like, I'm not going to say this movie is unwatchable, I'm not going to say it's total dog shit, but holy shit, the stupidity of these characters just pissed me off to no end, so I'm going to give The Intruder a 4 out of 10. Okay, have you seen The Intruder? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.